Hello and welcome to another edition of Mad Mondays with Patrick and Celeste.
Where our Mondays are so bad that we have to broadcast on Thursdays.
That's right.
Now, we're going to start off with some rugby news. The
Yeah.
State of Origin was last night between Queensland and New South Wales. So, Celeste, can you tell us a little bit about what happened?
Yes, very exciting. Lots of hype when the State of Origin starts. So New South Wales won the first match last night, 14 points to 6. And it's the first time the Blues have won the first match of the series since 2008. So looking good. They looked good from the start. At halftime we're 14-0, so they didn't look like losing. I started watching at halftime. I got my head around the rules to start off with, and yeah, it's interesting. It's hard. It looks hard game, like smash into each other, and I was looking like high tackle or like that's a trip or all that stuff. But apparently you can just bash into each other. So
it's intense compared to AFL footy.
Yeah, they must be hard, tough people. So hopefully, is it 5 next year? 3. So we'll have to see how the rest of it plays out, but it's very exciting. Love this time of year.
And New South Wales haven't won a series in a while, so it'd be good to see them get back on top or get one back on the Queenslanders. So
8 years or something, I think.
It's been a while, yeah.
Yeah, they had a little boy talking at the start, and he said he hasn't seen New South Wales win, and he's 8 years old. So.
Yeah.
Not that he probably remembers, but
yeah, well, still.
Yeah. So moving on to soccer, it was the 2014 Soccer World Cup qualifier between Australia and Japan on Tuesday night. Australian debutant Tommy Orr scored the first goal of the match with just 10 minutes to go. So that would have been nail biting, and it's a long time to watch a game for nothing to happen.
They're looking good at that stage as well. They're all over it by all accounts, the Aussies. So
unfortunately, with 2 minutes to go, Australia gave away a penalty, and Japanese player Honda scored a goal from the penalty, bringing the game to a 1-1 draw. It's disappointing.
Well, especially for the Aussies, saying that they need to win. They got 3 games, so that one plus 2 more in the next couple of weeks, and then they need to win 2 out of the 3, so to qualify. So it would have been nice.
Pressure on themselves.
Well, that's it. It would have been nice to start off with a win, but hopefully they've got 2 home leagues now, so one at Etihad next Tuesday and one in Sydney at ANZ Stadium the following Tuesday. So hopefully the Aussie supporters can get out and enforce and get the boys over the line for the next two weeks and get them into the World Cup.
Yeah, with over 60,000 people attending the game, there would have been a lot of noise coming from the stadium within the last 2 minutes.
Oh, definitely.
So that result sends Japan straight into the World Cup, but as we were saying before, Australia has to play Jordan and then Iraq. So hopefully they can get me on the board. And in other soccer news, Harry Kewell has signed with the Melbourne Heart. So that's exciting for Melbourne.
So jumped across from Melbourne teams. He was at the Melbourne Victory a couple of seasons ago, and now he's at the Melbourne Heart. So good luck for him. Yeah. And also Mark Schwartz is quitting Fulham as well. From all reports, Fulham signed another European goalkeeper, Stecklenburg, to the club on a $6.3 million contract, I believe. So Schwartz has said that he's not going to be at a club where he's not going to be the number one, not going to be the number one goalie, which is probably fair enough when he's 41 years old.
He needs to be somewhere.
Well, that's it. It needs to be somewhere where he's guaranteed a spot, because otherwise he's just not going to get a game and his career's just going to fizzle out. So. Very fair call by him.
We'll move on to some cycling news now.
Yeah, we've got some big cycling news coming out yesterday. Australian veteran Stuart O'Grady has announced his retirement effective as of after next year's Tour de France, which will be his 18th Tour de France. So his cycling career is stretched 20 years, and he's raced, so as I said, he'll be racing his 18th Tour de France next year. So he's been all over the place. He's been to 6 Olympic Games as well as 18 Tour de France's. He's won 1 gold medal, 1 silver medal, 2 bronze medals. He's won 1 Paris-Roubaix title, which is one of the 5 big cycling races on the European circuit. He's won 4 Commonwealth Games gold medals, 3 Tour de France stage wins, and 2 Tour Down Under titles as well. So he's definitely up there as one of the most influential Australian riders of all time, if not one of the greatest, up there with Cadel Evans and Robbie McEwen and Adam Hughes. So
been cycling for half his life, so
That's
probably
it.
won't know what to do with himself.
Yeah, exactly right. He'll have to find something to do now that he's not off gallivanting all over the world in cycling. So
Be sure to get out next year to the Tour Down Under to see his last Tour Down Under.
yeah, fingers crossed he can pull off a couple of stage victories in the Tour Down Under and even the Tour de France. And the next couple of years, I don't know about the Tour de France, but you never know, he might pull off a few stage victories in the Tour Down Under next year. So it'd be good to have him come back here for one last time and farewell all his family and friends in Adelaide. So yeah, moving on. What do you got for us now?
Semi-breaking swimming news. As of last night, Energy Australia has cancelled their sponsorship of Swimming Australia due to ongoing drama and scandals after they had a crisis meeting in Sydney yesterday.
Yeah, $8 million they'll be out of pocket
Yes.
between now and the next Olympic Games, I believe. So tough times for the swimmers.
And there's nothing, as far as we know, nothing's really been decided on what happens now, but hopefully, we'll have that next week or maybe. Not sure, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see. Have to start behaving themselves, those swimmers.
Well, that's it. They had a board meeting last night, I believe, from Australia, so to suss out a few things. So hopefully they can get everyone in line and sort it out, because they need to win a few gold medals at the next Olympics, seeing that we had our worst performance in the Olympics at the last one. So we need to get our act together.
Yeah. And we're up to the semi-finals of the French Open in tennis. We've got Djokovic taking on Nadal and Tsonga taking on Ferrer. Djokovic defeated Haas, who was the oldest competitor to make it into the quarterfinals since Agassi in 2005.
Yeah.
As far as I know, yeah. So
It's been around for a while, something Haas.
yeah, it's one of my favourites. It's just good to watch. And although he stopped wearing the hat backwards, which was the classic Haas.
Yeah.
So with his long hair. Anyway, Nadal defeated Wawrinka and Ferrer defeated Medvedev, and of course the big one, Tsonga defeating Federer.
Good.
Tsonga's had a dream run. He hasn't lost a set all tournament.
Wow.
So he might be looking the goods to win, I think. But
Rafa's still my pick, I reckon.
it's going to be a tough one, Djokovic and Nadal. I don't know how many times they've played. Probably should look that up. But it'll be a good game, and I'm a Djokovic fan. Well, not the immense fan. But, I think Djokovic will win. On the women's side, Serena Williams will take on Sara Errani, and Sharapova will take on Azarenka. Williams defeated Kuznetsova, who was having her best tournament since coming back from her injury. Errani defeated Radwanska, and Sharapova defeated Jankovic after losing the first set 6-love. Looked like Jankovic was going to go 3 in straight sets, but Sharapova took it out to 3, and Azarenka defeated Kirilenko, which could have been Kirilenko. I think that's her best making the quarterfinals, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so it's a bit. I think it's tougher to choose in the women's draw. Maybe Williams and Azarenka.
Sharapova is a defending title holder, so you can't rule her out either, I guess.
Can't rule any of them out really, but
Well, that's it.
if you have to choose one, I reckon Williams Azarenka final, but we'll have that all next week.
Exactly right.
So I've got some cricket news.
Yes, the Aussies have hit a bit of a speed bump in their preparations for the ICC World Cup, with their first game being on Saturday against the Poms. So they played India in a trial game, in a warm-up match the other night, and after having India 5 for 55, at one stage India ended up making 300 odd, with Dennis Karthik making a unbeaten 146 and captain MS Dhoni making 91. So those two putting on a 211 run partnership for the 5th wicket. Unfortunately for the Aussies there, and then the Aussies in reply were all out for 65. So Adam Voges was the highest scorer with 23, and the second highest scorer was Philip Hughes, who was South Aussie, making 14, and they were the only two to make it into double figures, unfortunately. So after a good win against the West Indies the other day, they've sort of hit a little bit of a speed bump there against India, but hopefully they can get all their bad all their bad omens and all their bad form out of the way now and be ready to take on England on Saturday. So England are coming off a couple of losses to the Kiwis in their home series, so hopefully we can use some of that momentum or some of their bad form in the one-day circles to get up over England, but it is over there, so it'll be interesting to see. And also, Tim May's resigned as the boss of Cricket International. Has resigned as the boss of Cricket's International Players Association, claiming the match fixing in India highlights where the game is going wrong at the moment. So he was denied a spot on the ICC board a month ago because of some dodgy voting going on amongst some particular board members. So he's a little bit cross with that, and I think it's all just got a bit too hard with all the match fixing controversy over in India at the moment, and he's just had enough. So he's quitting, he's stepping down from that role there. So it's a bit of a loss for the cricket in that respect, because he's a reasonably well respected person.
Yeah, and it's sad to see that match fixing and other things like that are causing people to step down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's respected and very good at his job, and so it's unfortunate, but that's the way it goes.
That's exactly right.
We had round 11 in the ANZ Netball Championships on the weekend. There was only 4 games, as 2 teams had byes and 2 teams have byes this week coming. The Thunderbirds played the New South Wales Swifts and won by 3 goals. It's probably a bit closer than everyone expected, but the Thunderbirds had their skipper out, Matt Bombodo. So
that was over in Sydney as well. So.
Yes. But Thunderbirds remain top of the ladder with 3 rounds to go. They have a bye this week, but hopefully that doesn't lose momentum. They don't lose momentum for the last 2 games, because there's only 3 rounds to go.
And 9 straight wins, that's very good.
Yeah, so that's unfortunate to have a week off now.
Yeah.
But pretty sure they'll stay on top and hopefully take out the title again.
To host a home final first up, and a home crowd, and then hopefully win 3 against final, and then, yeah.
And we also had some ice hockey in Adelaide over the weekend. Adelaide Adrenaline played their first home game at Ice Arena, both against the Sydney Bears. On Saturday, Adrenaline won 6-3, and on Sunday, the Bears won 4-2. So, once again, mixed results for Adrenaline. Unfortunately, they can't seem to find some consistent form.
No.
This week, they head over to Perth to play a doubleheader against Perth Thunder. So, hopefully, they can get a win. More wins on the board for the rest of the season.
Well, at least they've got 2 weeks of games in a row now, instead of having 3 weeks off or whatever.
And so we'll move on to AFL, and about 45 minutes ago, Marty Mattner announced his retirement effective immediately as a result of his ongoing hip injury throughout the season. So that's very unfortunate. He's been a top player for a long time, but injuries just couldn't get rid of it. So
as is the case with most footy players, I guess, towards the end of their careers, once they realise that they're going to spend more time on the sidelines with injuries than they are on the ground, and they figure it's probably time to give it away. So obviously starting his career back down here at the Crows and moving over to Sydney a couple of years ago, and he's won a premiership with them last year. So
yeah, he played 117 of a possible 119 games since 2008. Yeah, like before his injury, obviously.
No, I was going to say.
So he's 30 years old, so that's not...
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be like Dustin Fletcher and play until they're 60.
So that's unfortunate. And we had the Hall of Fame the other night.
Yes, we had the Hall of Fame the other night in Canberra, where we had Royce Hart was elevated into the Legends category, and then we had Hassan Mann, Rick Davies, who was a South Australian who played for Sturt and South Adelaide through the 70s and 80s.
Yes, Twitter went wild over Rick.
Yeah.
Davies. Everyone was writing a tweet about that.
Yeah, I think he's a reasonably worthy candidate from what I've heard, I think, and everyone's pleased that he's in there finally. It's only a couple of years coming, but he's in there now, which is good. We also had Western Bulldogs star midfielder Scott West and Matthew Lloyd, as well as Brian Sheehan, as well, all inducted in the Hall of Fame this year. So congratulations to all those. So Scotty West, obviously a Bulldogs champion, and Matthew Lloyd kicking over 900 goals for Essendon. So congratulations to all of them.
Are they a bit younger to be inducted into Hall of Fame, or is that usual?
Oh, you have some youngies inducted every now and then. Like I think Michael Buss was inducted a couple of years ago.
Oh, okay.
So James Hird, I think, as well. So we've got it varies really. You don't have to be out of footy for ages to get inducted. You can get inducted when you're about that age. So Matthew Lloyd, as I said, has kicked over 900 goals, and obviously his work in the media in the last couple of years as well has put his name up in front of everyone as well. So good to see a couple of those blokes get in as well.
Yeah, so Monday night football has been a success. The AFL is considering the induction of more Monday night games following the success of West Coast and Richmond.
That was a big game, yeah.
Yeah, so I like the idea, although we didn't get to watch it, unfortunately. Not sure what was going on there. Yeah. Not all of us have Foxtel, so that was a bit disappointing. But yeah, if they do, hopefully if there's more Monday games, they will broadcast all of them. I just think it's silly. Why wouldn't you?
The last Monday game wasn't it?
Yeah.
The one between Carlton and St Kilda?
Yeah.
I think just because it was over in Perth and the lateness of the game. Well, it wasn't that late.
No, because it's an hour and a half. Like, they're behind us an hour and a half, so it's not really late. 3 hours? Oh, maybe.
Anyway.
Maybe this time of year. Anyway. It's not that late here.
Either way, they're still on early enough. Yeah, so that's interesting, but yeah, I reckon it's good. They had a big crowd at Pattinson Stadium. It was nearly a sell, I believe. So, and a good game of footy to watch as well. West Coast and Richmond. So, we'll get to the results in a minute. Won't give anything away just yet. But it was a good game of footy and big crowd as well.
Yeah. So what else have we got before the results? Maybe we'll just get straight to the results.
I think so, yeah.
So we had Brisbane and Collingwood on Friday night in Brisbane, and unfortunately Brisbane went down by 49 points.
Nothing unexpected there, really.
No, I wasn't watching the game, but I suppose not much can do about it.
No.
Carlton defeated GWS 148 to 54, so
GWS still without a win.
Yeah, that's so unfortunate.
They'll get there. They're starting to play some not too bad of footy, so they'll be there up around the mark in the next couple of years. As you saw, the Gold Coast took them a couple of years to get going, and now they're still out of the eighth, but they've won 4 and 6, so level with teams like the Kangaroos. So that's it.
And we had Crows and Fremantle. Fremantle up by 7 points. I was working, so I didn't get to actually watch the game, but
very wet.
Yeah, and not many people were out and about. My bar was very quiet.
No, it was still about 30,000 there, which is a good result. But obviously, the game was affected by that last quarter goal review that everyone's been talking about. Again, there was controversy with that, with the umpires saying 3 minutes to decide to actually go to the goal review, and then eventually it was decided inconclusive, and so they changed the goal umpire's decision after Paddy Dangerfield's, the goal umpire gave it a goal, but they said it's close. So
I'm just a bit sceptical to be blaming that, because even if they did get the goal, they still would have lost.
Well, that's it, but the fact that they had all the momentum at that stage, Crows had a bit of a run on and they had to stop for 3 minutes.
Right.
And even if we had a kick, Paddy Dangerfield ended up kicking a goal a couple of minutes later anyway, so it didn't matter. But it's not just the fact of that, the result of that game, it's just the further down the track, if there's a similar incident and it could affect the result of a game in like a grand final or something, you don't want that happening.
No. The decision process needs to be speeded up.
Quicker, yeah. And also the inconclusive bit of the decision. I thought if a decision was inconclusive, it went back to the goal umpire's decision. What's the point in
Yeah.
having a goal umpire there if
you're not gonna
his
trust it?
decision's not going to be the correct one?
Because they went back to the boundary umpire that was on the other side. I don't understand.
Yeah.
Just pipe down in the corner and do your own job.
Yeah, just let the goal umpire do his job. As I said, I don't understand why they're there for if he's not going to make a decision. So, and if it's
Anyway, let's just move on.
Yeah.
We could talk about that for hours.
Exactly.
So we had Sydney and Essendon, which you probably thought Sydney was going to win, but probably not this much of a blowout.
No.
44 points.
Yeah, Sydney playing some good footy at the moment. So it is a bit of a surprise seeing that they're reasonably close to each other on the ladder, but as I said, Sydney playing some good footy and at home as well. Yeah, anyway.
We had Bulldogs and Port Adelaide up in Darwin. I didn't get to see much of that, but Western Bulldogs up by 9 points.
Yeah, so the Powers' good run is kind of going backwards now. They're now
the brakes
5
on
and 5.
The halt. So yeah. Very nice.
Yeah, so they're gonna have to. I think they've got a bye this weekend,
Yeah.
so they'll have to come out after the bye and win some games of footy. But I think their draw only gets harder in the next couple of weeks. I think they've got some of the top 4 sides coming up in their draw. They've got Sydney first week after the bye, which could be Tibbo's first game back. So
that would be exciting, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would be. Don't know whether he'll play first up, but you never know.
He might still have to come through their reserve league or something like that.
I think so. That would get some match fitness back into him. It's a lot different just training than actually playing games.
Surely his first game back, right? He's in.
No, I don't think so. It's good, but not that good.
And to play his first game in Adelaide, I don't think would be the smartest idea.
Nah, I reckon
could be a few people at the airport. Or
yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah,
I was going to say probably get more Crow supporters at the Port game than you would
throwing
supporters.
things. Yeah, so anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens with Big KT. We had Geelong and Gold Coast. Geelong up by 52 points.
Scored 11 at 3/4 time though, so big last quarter by the Cats. First game under lights at Skilled Stadium as well, so good to have one of their favourite sons.
Simmons
as well.
now it's called, isn't it?
Simmons Stadium, yep, sorry. Simmons Skilled.
And apparently it was a big success. And
oh, I couldn't see why it wouldn't be. I think got the new grandstands up and about there as well now, so looking good down there at Simmons Stadium.
I'd like to go check it out. I drove past once when it was Skilled Stadium, but hopefully I can get back there.
Yeah.
We had Melbourne and Hawthorn.
Melbourne's bad run just continues, doesn't it?
They kept it under 100 points, 95 points, so well done to that. It was, the end of it looked like Hawthorn were just going to score another goal. I was really hoping it didn't get to 100 points, so not much they can do really. I think they just ride off this season. And
they just didn't even look like winning. Right? There was one passenger play in particular in the start of the second quarter where there was a Hawthorn bloke running from about the middle of the centre square, running into 50 towards goal, and all the Melbourne players were running away from him. They aren't you supposed to be running towards the player with the ball? But and Martin Hill survives for another week as well after we all thought that he might get the sack after Monday's board meeting, but the boards put their faith behind him for another week, and we'll have to wait and see. There's still a lot of rumours floating around that he'll be sacked during the bye, which is after this weekend, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we had North Melbourne and St Kilda with North Melbourne a win, hurrah! Finally. By 68 points.
56 points up at quarter time.
Wow.
55 points up at quarter time. So.
Wow.
That is. One in the first quarter.
So they certainly bounced back, didn't they?
Yeah, well, that's right.
got it kicked into gear.
Yeah.
And then, of course, Monday night, Richmond defeating West Coast. How many people tipped that?
Not many, apparently.
59 points.
41, right?
41? Yep, got it wrong, sorry.
Good game of footy. Richmond played some good footy after quarter time. I think West Coast were up at quarter time, and Richmond kicked 9 on the next 9 goals.
9 of the next 9?
9 of the next 9 to put their stamp on the game and pretty much West Coast no chance of winning. They just look like a completely different side. But yeah, good for them.
So we're running out of time. We'll just quickly go through this round of AFL.
Yeah.
So we've got a few buys. Port have a bye, Richmond have a bye, Western Bulldogs have a bye, Brisbane Lions, Fremantle and Hawthorn. So we've only got 6 games.
Yeah.
Tomorrow night, Essendon and Carlton.
Essendon.
Yeah,
at the G. It'll be a big game though. There's usually
wish I wasn't working.
Yeah. They're usually a pretty big rivalry as well, so be a good game to watch.
Hopefully they have it on the screen at work. GWS and Geelong.
Scooter.
Yes.
Geelong.
Well, yeah. Crows in Sydney at Amy on a twilight Saturday game. Why don't they do Saturday night?
Don't know. I don't understand the twilight spot. It annoys me.
Perhaps for Sydney, perhaps they go back on Saturday night.
But then why wouldn't you have it Saturday afternoon then? Earlier, so they can get an earlier flight.
Because people have Saturday sport.
Long weekend though.
Anyway, we are not the rules
yeah,
well,
that's
so
it.
Yeah, I think Sydney.
I really want to say the Crows. I'm going to go the Crows, just...
Okay, rightio, just because you're biased. Gold Coast and North Melbourne. North Melbourne, all the way.
Yeah.
Is it Metricon?
It'll be closer than everyone thinks though. They're both 4 and 6. So, and Gold Coast playing some good footy at the moment. Only 26 points down against Hawthorn and we're level at 3/4 time against Geelong, so the 2 best sides in the competition at the moment. So
matches around.
Look out for an upset there, I reckon. Look out for the Gold Coast.
Yes. St Kilda and West Coast at Etihad.
West Coast.
Yes. Yeah, they'll bounce back. Melbourne and Collingwood on Monday again. 3:20. It's an odd time.
Queen's birthday clash, so the usual Monday. Collingwood by a lot.
Yes. Poor Melbourne.
Yeah, you do feel sorry for them, but people are coming out and saying they should receive salary cap concessions, and where they get. I think it was North Melbourne's Brad Scott who came out with a good point during the week. It's not about the short-term fix; it's about the long-term fix, and you can't just come out and give clubs that are struggling at the moment salary cap compensations just because they're playing bad footy now. Yeah. It's not the answer, so I think just get on with it. They've got some good young players like Jack Farney and Jimmy Tompkins coming through at the moment, so they've got plenty of, and Jackson Trengove as well as the captain, so I think just get on with it and they'll be right if they can just stick with what they've got at the moment.
And just quickly, Lockie Whitfield has won the round 10 NAB Rising Star.
Congratulations to him.
Yeah.
Was he number 1 pick this year?
Yeah, he was.
Yes. So good on him. So that's just about all we've got time for this week on Mad Monday for Touching and Celeste. Yeah, unfortunately, another week comes to an end. It's you can listen to us through Spreaker or Oz Sports Online. You can check us out on Facebook or on Twitter at MadMondays13. We'd love to hear from you in regards to any comments you have, or
just anything.
Just have a chat if you want, really. And Between the Posts has been suspended for the moment. Sorry, not suspended. Postponed. That's the word I was looking for. It's been postponed for the moment while construction work's going on at the Ice Arena. So we'll keep you posted when we're back on that. No pun intended. So thank you for listening in this week, and we'll talk to you all next week.
Thank you.